Hey everybody, this is Chad from Beyond Wireless, and I just want to share a few quick tips on some pretty cool things that will help keep you more protected in the future. Now, I used to work at banking at one time, and almost every day I would have someone come in and tell me how they didn't want a credit card or didn't want a debit card, which is fine, but the reason they didn't want it is because they think that writing a check is safer. Now, when someone's used the word safer, there comes a lot of emotion that is tied to that, and oftentimes we want everything to be safe, right? So when they would tell me that, I would respond to them and say, hold on, so you think it's safer, but write a check, or, get inside your purse and give me a check right now, and they would hand it to me, and I would look at the check, and I would say, so now I have your name, I have your bank account number, I have your bank routing number, I know where you bank. Sometimes I even have your address, your driver's license number, and your telephone number, and sometimes even your signature. So what else would I need from you in order to commit, identity theft? I mean, I almost have everything that you are right on this one single piece of paper. So when we give a debit card or even a credit card out, it kind of takes away some of those things because we don't share all that information. Now, it's 2018, right? And technology is always moving forward, so there's a lot better ways where we can pay for things and be much more protected. So the same way that I had people try to explain to me that checks were safer than debit cards, I get this all the time too, saying that using their debit card or a credit card is way safer than using Samsung Pay, Apple Pay, Android Pay, or whatever pay is out there. There's a Chase Pay. I mean, almost any financial institution now has some sort of payment app that they use. So there's a few reasons why these are a lot safer. So first off, Samsung Pay is definitely my favorite, and owing to the fact that you can use it almost anywhere. So Samsung Pay uses technology called MST, plus they still use NFC. So NFC is your basic tap-to-pay stuff where, it has to be a tap-to-pay reader. But MST takes that a step further, where MST, you can pay with your Samsung device just like you are swiping a credit or debit card. So it sends a magnetic transmission to that card reader, allowing it to read your information. Now that sounds creepy at first and kind of weird, but I will explain why that's safe in just a second. So Apple Pay is also NFC, and Android Pay is also NFC based. So that's what gives Samsung Pay a little edge in my book, plus they give you some pretty cool rewards points. Either way, I would 100% recommend using all three of them, because here's the difference. So when Target got hacked a few years ago, one thing that you might have noticed is that there was over like 1 million debit cards that were hacked. So if you had, even I had to get a new debit card through my bank, because my information could potentially be out there, which is no big deal. I mean, the bank did great, they took care of it, nothing ever came of it as far as I know. But to take that a step further, if I would have used Samsung Pay, Apple Pay, Android Pay, I wouldn't have had to get a new debit card, because what these things do is the first thing is they change the last four of your card number. So oftentimes when you pay with this, if a restaurant or whoever asks for the last four of your card number, you're going to give them the last four through that app, not the actual last four of your card number, which is pretty cool. So already I'm not giving my card information out to anyone anywhere. The next thing is they use something called a token code. So that token code means every time you go to pay, every time you make a transaction, there's a unique number tied to that transaction, but not tied to your card information, that gets passed through to that institution, which means you legitimately never share any of your card information to them. It just confirms the payment and away you go. So that's why these three things are much safer than using a credit, debit card, or even a check. And to take that a step further, think about, I know with a few of these, you have to have a password protected on your phone, or some sort of PIN, password, fingerprint, anything like that. So right now you're walking down the street, wherever you are, you're at home. But if you're out and about, how easy is it for someone to just come up and take your wallet and take your purse? After that, they don't need any unique identifiers from you to get into those, the credit cards, the wallets and stuff like that. But with your phone, each of these are protected to where even if they took your phone, they still need your fingerprint, your secure PIN number, or your password, or your facial scan, whatever it is, in order to access the information. So that's why I would highly recommend using one of these three things. I mean, if I didn't already give you enough information as to why these are much, much safer, feel free, reach out to us, ask for Chad. If you want to get some more information on it, make a comment on the link, and we'll do our best to clear up any questions that you may have. So thanks guys, take care.